Flashback. Chicago County Missioner calls for UN troops on streets. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, teaching His word in all sincerity and truth. And to the few Akwaf that listen, shalom. This is Brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. And as you can see, this is a old video from 2017. But what this guy was, calling for is something that we know these elites have planned for the near future. And which is why you see a lot of this chaos, a lot of this looting, a lot of this rioting. We know that these elites are trying to, incite certain things so that, they could cause chaos. We know one way, it's a good probability that they're going to somehow cancel the upcoming elections. They might assassinate Biden, assassinate Trump, do these different things to get the American people at each other's throat. They're bringing in all these millions of so-called migrants into this country. We know that the financial system is on the brink of collapse. We know that massive famine and, so-called cyber attacks. There's a lot of things on these devils' agenda that they can use to ultimately bring complete chaos here to the streets of America, which is all part of the agenda so that they can gain more control and bring in this new digital beast system. And this also can be an excuse for them to bring UN troops or the Gurkha troops or any of their private militia armies, here on the streets of America to bring in law and order and to have the, and they could send these troops out to, execute on site. They can use them to go door to door to do gun confiscations just to bring all out chaos so that they can bring order out of it. And this would be a good reason for them to bring martial law and to bring these UN troops and these other foreign troops and armies here on the soils of America. And they'll be totally justified in doing it to bring so-called law and order back to this society. And they can use that, those troops to target the undesirables, to target particular individuals who they have on their list that speak out and that speak truth, so it can go a very long way. You see, and this is part of the slaughter that these elites are planning on bringing here on the soils of America pretty soon. So I'm going to read into a little bit of this. It says the 27 flashback video highlights the agenda by globalist politicians and elites such as Henry Kissinger, who have openly called for UN troops to hit the streets of America to install order. This is, of course, an extremely dangerous and unconstitutional concept, you see, but when they can bring, when they can cause all this order and chaos, they have particular laws already written within the books that they could use to bring in the military. They have laws in place to where they could, disrupt or stop your so-called constitutional rights and establish martial law, where things, that you were constitutionally awarded can be taken away from you. The right to bear arms, the right to freedom of speech, the right to gather, to protest, to do this, to do that. Once they have certain executive orders in place where none of that is going to matter. All right. The law can be taken into the hands of the powers that be. It says Kissinger reportedly told the Bilderberg conference in 91, today America would be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told that there were an outside threat from beyond. Yeah, you meaning that they can bring in fake an alien invasion. Or they can bring in a new, scare the people to death with some new type of bioweapon that can be released. And people are dying and people are sick, They have many different ways that they could bring in, martial law and to bring in these different foreign troops to so-called bring in order. It says this is especially true if they were told that there were an outside threat from beyond, whether real or promulgated, that threatened our very existence, you see, and we know they have that on the books as well, faking the so-called alien invasion, which is why they've been speaking a lot about UFOs. You had Mexico showing that little fake alien. You had the supposed aliens in the backyard in Las Vegas. You see? their Project Bluebeam. So they have many different scenarios that they could use to bring, to have martial law and to bring in foreign troops to restore so-called law and order, man. But we know they're ultimately going to do it with a lot of chaos, It says, it is then that all peoples of the world will plead to deliver them from this evil. The one thing every man fears is the unknown. When presented with this scenario, individual rights will be willingly relinquished for the guarantee of well-being granted to them by the world government, you see? And that's that order out of chaos, that cloud pivot, and this is what these devils are ultimately going to use. Because ultimately, they're losing the narrative, they're losing the information war. People are waking up to a lot of the bullshit. So the only thing that they could use is some type of massive fear tactic. Like I said, bring in the unknown. Let there be a so-called fake alien invasion. It can be a mysterious illness that people are just rapidly dying from and bleeding out of the ears, the mouth, the nose, whatever, however they see fit to use it to bring this NWO. It says now the United Nations is sending an international police force led by Kenya to Haiti in order to combat rising gang violence in the island nation, you see? And we know a lot of that shit happening in Haiti over there is being orchestrated by these devils, man. All right. And they are coming with the solutions to it. And they're going to run the same playbook here in America. We don't know exactly how, but we know they have many different options on the table. But we do know for a fact that their plan is to bring the order out of the chaos, man. It says foreign troops operating with millions of dollars of U.S. logistical support will be hitting the streets in Haiti in what is another example of the globalist system flexing its muscle and perhaps even practicing for eventually coming to Europe and America, you see? And that's why they're practicing it all over the world in these other smaller countries, you see? But one thing they know for sure, when they do it here in America, it's going to be not so easy because all these American citizens have guns, all right? They're locked and loaded. They can defend themselves in a way that the Europeans can or these Haitians can't against these different UN forces. People can gather militias here. They can get together. They can shoot back. They can bust off first, So they have to be very careful with how they're going to implement it here in Babylon the Great. But we do know that, they're going to use the military and military force to do so. It says the Democrats' cloud pivot strategy of expanding the welfare state and promoting civil unrest will assist the globalists in creating an excuse to violate the U.S. Constitution and bring the foreign troops into major American cities to help with the same violence the left creates with its policies. You see, and this is what these devils are ultimately doing. And it will give them the green light to come down with great wrath upon you people, seeing that they have but a short time. You see, because he's losing, like I said, he's losing the information more. People are leery. People are, everything that he is saying, people are looking at it like it's some bullshit. So, once the lies don't work and the deception's not working anymore, then he's going to start getting, more hostile, more violent, more serious, more in your face. And that's when, that's when he can bring in the troops, man. And like I said, he can bring in these troops to come in here. They're going to have the green light to do whatever they need to do to get things done. They're going to start rounding people up and putting you in concentration camps. They're going to be running down that red, blue, and yellow list, putting particular people over here, these people on the red list over there, running up in houses, taking people's shit, taking you to concentration camps, separating you from your children, bring such massive fear. Like I said, they could drop a so-called biological weapon and then they can use the military to go door to door for that situation. And as they're going door to door, you better believe they're going to be confiscating guns, ransacking your house, doing whatever they need to do to give people to be so terrified and afraid that you'll be willing to give away all your rights just for a little bit of normalcy, man. But ultimately, they can use this as a huge way to, do away with those that they know, they're, those that are, not for this system and not falling for the okie doke. And mainly you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, a lot of you are going to be mowed down like the mire of the streets when all this happens. You see? And this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 67. It says, behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. You see, because only the elect are going to be delivered from all this trouble. The majority, 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites, a lot of you are going to be done in by the UN troops. A lot of you are going to be gathered up and thrown in concentration camps and tortured and put to death and separated from your families, man. You know, and a lot of you are going to be sea ragamuffined up, you know. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Yeah, that micro C hip. A lot of you are going to be gathered in these concentration camps just so that, you can be terrified and put in a situation to where, you'll be looking for solutions and answers, and you'll go along with whatever agenda these devils are going to offer you, just so that you can feel some type of comfort. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. You see? And that's what a lot of these troops are going to be used for. This is why that mayor in Chicago was calling for UN troops. Because why? Because of the violence, because of all of the so-called, niggas out there killing each other and shooting each other up. And he's saying that the reason is because our citizens are scared. They need answers, They need a solution. They don't want to be afraid anymore. Well, what's the best way is that we need UN troops to come in here and to restore the order. No, what he really is saying is he wants the UN troops to go in there and to lay down all those niggas that are out there living like it's the wild, wild west. And part of them bringing order and bringing safety and civility back to that society is getting, ultimately is getting rid of all the troublemakers and them rowdy, crazy niggas out there. You see, that's ultimately what he is saying. And that's ultimately what these troops, when they come here, are going to be used for. Now, of course, on the mainstream media, they're going to tell you, oh, they're here to bring order and they're here for your help. Yeah, right. They're going to be over here murdering, shooting, grabbing up, displacing, busting heads, raping, doing all, stealing, doing all type of shit, to get you people prepped for the New World Order. It says, and they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, you see? And that's what these troops are going to ultimately do. They're not coming to bring peace and safety. They're coming to regulate and to establish the New World Order, man. And a huge part of that is eliminating a lot of you jakes out there, man. I see, and the only one that's going to be delivered out of it is going to be the elect, man. All right, let me get this. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 5. It says, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation, you see? And the Lord's going to use this modern day Assyrian, which is, Esau, Edom, and these different, and the power and these militaries under him to be the staff and the rod of the Most High's indignation to bring judgment upon 2/3 of our people. It says, I will send him against an hypocritical nation, which are you Israelites, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets, you see? And that's why Esau has these UN troops and these secret military and the Gurkha troops and a lot of these, troops from different parts of the world that hate you Americans with a passion. He's going to unleash these devil, he's going to unleash the military on you, which is ultimately the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? And this is just only a matter of time, because they're going to bring the chaos. They're going to let this whole society get totally out of control. And there's going to be the lawlessness, people invading one another, power outages. It's going to be, they're going to shut off this financial system as we know it, and just leave everybody out here in complete fear and desperation. And, it's going to be crazy out here. And that's when he's going to come with the troops, man. All right. And this is Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy, say, thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Right. And this is when Esau is going to come down like that flood. He's going to be using these different military troops and drones and, artificial intelligent robots, man. He's going to bring out all his sophisticated, highly tactical weapons upon you Jakes out here, man. And it's all ultimately the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, it is sharpened to make a sure slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Yeah, just what Jake is all about. Partying and BSing. It's all about having a good time. It's all about this. But the last thing on your mind is taking heed and listening to the warning of the prophets. And we're out here telling you that all these things are coming. We're telling you that the beginning of sorrows is here. Great famine, death, destruction, financial collapse, famine, civil war, race wars. All this stuff is about to take place here in this society. But Jake is still, looking to have a good time and looking to party and looking to chase the bag and do all these things except get their house in order and get right with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, well then that's why the Lord is going to send the rod, the Assyrian, which is the rod of his anger, on you, Jade. Almost 2 more minutes. It says, should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is a sharpened, and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer. You see, and the slayer is Esau, Edom. And the Lord's going to put that cold spirit on Esau to come down with that great wrath. And he's going to give these military troops and the UN troops and whatever other troops he's going to have out here the green light to slay a lot of you American citizens out here. All of you people out here protesting. All you people that's going to be out here robbing and looting and running amok. Hey, they're going to send in this military to put shit and lay a lot of you down, man. Mainly you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites, because you're going to be the main ones out here going ape shit. Yeah, of course, Esau and these other nations are, but it's mainly going to be you tribes out here going buck wild, And Esau going to send in the drones, man. Hey, and they're going to get busy. You see? It says, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. See? It said terrors by reason of the sword, man. And that's what this guy is calling for, the UN troops. Now he's saying to bring peace. This smooth faced coon nigga right here. But really, they're gonna why they need them to bring peace? Because it's gonna be complete disorder and chaos taking place out here, man. And we've been warning you, Jake, and telling you that these things are vastly approaching. But Jake don't want to listen, But it's all good though. Hey, the Lord's gonna send out the word. And the Lord's gonna give that order, and it's gonna commence. Hey, the purge is gonna commence, man. And a lot of you Jakes are gonna be purged out here via these different troops and through race riots and food riots and martial law. So just wanted to go into that little quick lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit of me into this lesson. To the next one, Shalom.